Hello, high school instructors. I wanted to give you an overview video of the career development course shell and a lot of the changes that have been made since it was last offered at the high schools. So let's just jump right into it. I've been working over the past year with several of the career development instructors, and what we did was we reviewed a lot of the details for the course itself. We infused a book that you weren't using previously, so we do have publisher material and curated material, as well as some other just Daytona State College information. And it's very similar to the Managing Your Success layout. So you should be pretty familiar with that if you've taught that with us before. But we also reviewed a lot of assignments and what we thought would be best for learning outcomes. So I'm going to go over a few basics first, and then I'll give you a little bit more detail. There will be multiple videos related to the course, so this is just the overview to start. First of all, on this home page, you'll see that I've already dismissed some of the announcements that pop up, and then they can pop up here in the quick guide again. In the announcements, what I put in there for you was the basics, just like in the SLS2301 course. They are all set for the day before classes start with a start and end date, so you will need to update those. But there's the basic introductory one, and then reminders for the various chapters and such. Now, this is the breakdown that I've been using in the online course that I piloted in fall of 2023. If you want to break this up, then that just means that you would want to modify these announcements, but also how you're going to lay out your course schedule and such. We'll get into that in a little bit more, but this is the announcements that are in there now. You'll notice in the navigation bar, there's a syllabus link. That goes to simple syllabus. This is a state requirement. We have to have a syllabus up and available live for the public 45 days prior to classes starting. So that's why you might see that we asked you to put that information in live on the site, because that's required by the state. So no longer are we using the paper syllabi. Just like in the Managing Your Success class, we need that information up and live, and those deadlines are really important. So in the future, you'll be able to just copy over and make slight modifications. But basically, you should make sure that you have one in there now. And I did send an email out to you explaining how you could copy mine, you could import mine, and then just make modifications. All right, under content. Some of it should look pretty familiar. We'll start here with the welcome and getting started. It's the same as the Managing Your Success, with a couple of revisions that are unique to SLS2301 career development. There is a homework schedule. Again, it's in here based on the spring dates that I'm going to be using. But again, you can modify this any way that you'd like, as long as you're keeping the written assignments and the career project. You're not required to do the discussions. I use those, and you can use the quizzes however you want to. It's the written assignments in the assignment folders and the career project that are the departmental outcome assignments. So if you did want to modify this in any way, you could just click download here, make your changes, and then you would save it to manage files. And then you would change this particular file in the content area. So let's just say that you downloaded it and you saved it. You would then come to course administration, to manage files, and then here where it has homework schedule, you would just hit upload. You can either drag it over or find it and put it in there, hit save, and it'll ask you, do you want to replace the current one, as long as you kept the name the same. If you say yes, it will replace it here, but it will not replace it in the content location. So what you would need to do is come here to homework schedule, and you would choose change file, and then choose existing, go to manage files, pick it, and then replace it from there. So that's one thing that you can take a look at. And again, it's pretty spread out because I did it 16 weeks in the fall. So it's going to be spread out pretty much for you too. Remember, you can do a lot of in-class activities and things like that because you're meeting with them face to face multiple times a week, unlike me with online. There is an entire module dedicated to the career research project. What you'll see is some description here, but what I want to point out is you'll see there's two options for you in the high schools. Some people wanted to do things similarly to the past where there was an occupational focus, where it's, did you do the research on being a nurse? What's the salary? What's the outlook? What's the demand, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to keep that kind of focus for your project, that's fine. You want to do it, choose this, and then you can click right on here where all of that detail is. And then you would just delete the second one. If you say, no, I want to use the one that you're using at the college, that's going to be more like based on the actual assignments that were completed throughout the semester. What's your takeaway for this? What's your takeaway for that? What's your takeaway for that? So it is a culmination of all the research and experiences that they've had. So what you want to do is take a look at both of these, see which one you like, and whichever one that you want to use, just delete the other one. And you can actually remove where it says option 1 or option 2 or high school option 1, option 2. You can take that out of the name as well. But you only will have one of these for the requirements. And that's also true in the actual assignment folder. If you come here to the folder for the career research project, you'll see that there are 2 attachments. There's both options. You would just delete the option that you don't want to use. Okay? And again, it's fine if you use either one of them. You will use the same grading rubric for both of them, whichever one you decide to choose. Okay. Now getting into the chapters. I'm not going to go over all of them. Actually, let me reverse back here with the research project. There are a lot of other resources here. It gives them a direct link right to the rubric so they have an idea of how they're going to be assessed. It gives them information about citations because we do require MLA citations in text and a works cited page in their PowerPoint for the sources that they're using. And the sources might be our textbook. It might be the websites like ONET or the Career Planning Info Guide, and variety of other things like that. So again, it gives them those kinds of resources. It also gives them resources on how to do PowerPoints and presentations. So again, it's a pretty thorough resource page for them to be successful in doing their presentation. So now getting back into the actual content areas for each chapter, same thing as managing your success, lays it all out like this, has an online lecture content type page. This one has the publisher's PowerPoints unedited. I did not make any changes to any of them. I just left them as is. Then what you see under additional resources are ones that I have curated with the assistance of other career development instructors that are going to be useful for the assignments that they're doing, but also for the just general content of the course itself. We did find some shortcomings in the textbook itself, so these are definitely not just supplemental. They're a lot more helpful in some arenas. Feel free to use them for your in-class activities. Then also there are the chapter activities that come from the publisher and the publisher's book as well. So they're all laid out the same way. There will be a PowerPoint, there will be curated resources, and then activities from the publisher. And again, the PowerPoint and the activities are from the publisher. All right, so then as you can see, there's a whole bunch of those, but I do want to point out this page here, resources in your content as well. If you haven't already activated your subscription to get the ebook, then this should stay hidden. See how there's an eyeball that's crossed out here? Leave this as hidden because you don't want your students to see this. This is for teacher resources only. So you can click right here on activate your subscription, and this is where you would put a code in to then activate your ebook. Now, I sent an email with that code. So please check your Daytona State emails so that you have that code to get to your ebook should you need it. And again, if you wanted to use anything else, most of this is already embedded, but you can see what's in here to help you with any of that. And this is all publisher resources. So you have the content, you have that kind of information. I don't want to spend a lot of time going into some of these other assignment related ones. I'm going to make a different video for that. But this should give you basically the lay of the land for your shell to get started. Please watch the other videos that I'm making for you for the assignments and discussions and grades and quizzes. And that should help you really feel more comfortable about making the change, the big wholesale change, since the last time this course was being offered in the high schools. Thanks for watching.